Well, hopefully you can see me. Anybody there? I think it's working, but I'll look for the chat. Cool. All right. Well, how's everybody doing? It's the Rooster coming at you live and direct from Ship Show Studios. I didn't know I hit the live button, but I was ready to go live. And there's no intro because Premiere Pro stopped working for me. Hi, now go. Listen, I need help. Maybe I missed a text somewhere along the way, but I can't find Larry. I sent him a link, but stop. Seriously, skedaddle. I sent him a link, but yeah, there's no, he didn't join and he's not responding to my text. So hopefully all is well. I mean, he may have texted me a few weeks ago and said something like, hey, Larry's, or I can't make it that particular week. But if he did, he didn't remind me this week, and he should know. Stop. I love you too. Okay, now I'm not talking to you. I know you think I'm talking to you. I'm talking to our millions of fans, okay? Not you, baby. You see what I deal with around here? Oh, yes, you're so sweet. Okay, skedaddles. Go play with Luna or Nova. All right. Is he on a cruise? Maybe he is. Well, if he is, that explains everything. Because I'm in a transition phase with my phone, and I can't really use Facebook. Long story. Hello, Tess.
Yeah. There's something fun about meeting, your people in the cruise community. It's just amazing how you feel like you're already friends, even though you've never met.
Oh. There we go. Tess, good to see you. I saw you message me, but again, I'm trying to get my phone transferred over from my previous employer to my account, and it's proving very difficult. And they've got the phone set where I cannot do any kind of. I refreshed a couple apps by deleting them, and I can no longer upload or download apps. I could go on my computer, but dang it, y'all, I've been too busy working on this basement. So if Larry is on a cruise, it's most likely because I haven't been on Facebook because I can't access it with the app. I have to do it with my computer. And quite frankly, listen, I haven't been in the studio too much lately except to decorate. I really went buck wild in here. It's pretty, it's a lot different. Yeah, I know, Tess. I'm sure you're in full planning mode, but I'll get to you. I promise. We need a special visit from the Toe Bro. Doodles, McShip Show. You know, the intro actually had a funny video of Doodles, but oh well. There was also a funny video of Big Al Placo with a mullet. But hello, everyone. Hello to let's get some music. It's me. I'm solo. I can do whatever I want. Stop. Let's get some music. Here we go. Oh, wrong one. Let's do this. Oh, wrong one. Sorry. I'm just getting back into the swing of things. Ah, I keep hitting the wrong button. Where is that song I'm looking for? Hold on, I'll find it. What's this? That's Christmas stuff. Ooh, that sugar sweet. There we go. All right, Jamie Wilhite is in the place. Mr. Z, how you doing, my friend? Glad to see you. Matter of fact, Mr. Z's here. Mr. Z, Mr. Z, Mr. Z is here. Everyone say hi, 'cause Mr. Z is here. All right, who else we got? We got Robin Butler in the place. We got Trevor Bagokler. Oh, Chad says, didn't realize until now that I've been missing you, John. Uh-oh. I see Amy Elke is here. Listen up, mother cluckers! Amy Elke is here tonight. Cluck every day. Amy Elke is here tonight. All right. Welcome, Amy. Who else do we have? We got Kevatopia in the place. Robin Allison. Thank you for being here. Jamie Wilhite, who's here every Wednesday night. I still haven't gotten around to doing that repair yet, Jamie. But I've got a couple updates which might help explain why. I've been in full on construction mode over here. But I'll get to that in a minute. Off the chisel, Kevatopia's here. We got double whammy niner going on. Off the chisel says, off to here for you, Jonovich. Welcome. Is Big Al here? I saw Garrett Smith is here. Listen, in about 2.5, 3 weeks, I don't know how many days, Garrett, we are going to be dipping our fungus-filled toes in the beautiful sands of one of the many gorgeous beaches in St. John, United States, Virgin Islands. This trip is going to be epic. It's the Clay Cump Smiths going. The Clay Ghosts, the Cumps, the Clumco Smiths, the Smith Co-Cumps. I don't know. But it's going to be Caitlin, Garrett, Eliana, Rooster, Stella, Kelly, Arnold, and Dana. And Stella's friend, Anna Lee. I see Rhonda Carney's here. Welcome, Rhonda. Scott McNeil, all up in your feels. Scott Neal all up in your fields. He's got the hammer, baby, who's in that cruiser pill. Scott McNeil is gonna keep it real, mother cluckers. It's Scott McNeil. Scott McNeil. That's so awesome. I love that. Let's see. We got something better. We got a better song. Let's see. Oh, crap. Wrong one. I'll find it. I'm just kidding. It's fun to hit the wrong button on purpose sometimes. You know what I'm saying? All right. Ready, boy, good boy, chat, boy. Give me some of that juice here, boy. Hello, everyone. Let's talk 70s lounge vibe over here, okay? And if I missed you, get in the chat so your name comes to the top so I can say, hello, how are you? I'm going to laugh my butt off if Larry is on a cruise. You would think, yeah, we'll go live. John, you should bring those songs on the cruise to play as each enters. You know, that's a great idea, Jamie. I need to get some more done. And I have enough credits to do so because I really haven't written a song on there for about 2 months. So I bet I got There's no way I could use them all up anytime soon. John must be running so well because I got new internet on Monday. Well, part of the reason it's working so well audio-wise, and this isn't a knock on Larry, is that I'm not trying to route audio from a bunch of different sources. But I spent 3 hours today with ChatGPT trying to lock down this audio stuff. And while my computer still does stupid things like changing the default audio device, I'm getting good at catching it, if you know what I'm saying. I don't see Big Al here, but Garrett, tell Caitlin Hannah Klaykowski I said hello. Probably should charge my phone. And tell her to feel free to give me a call. Just a couple questions, that's all. We'll probably go live. We'll get Garrett on the live stream. He'll be the main host. Him and Arnold will host the show, I think. I need to know the right time to fertilize my lawn. Listen, nothing's gonna hurt if you put down some potassium right now and a little bit. If you're gonna use urea or nitrogen, if you know what I'm saying, you might want to dilute it because you don't want it bursting early. That's when you get dandelion problems. You want to, potassium is what you need. That's what you need. Yeah, I've seen all those stories about ChatGPT doing weird stuff. That's awesome. Jamie Wilhite says she's working on some fun cruise gifts this week. Crazy Cat Traveler. Anyone got Larry on Shipmate to confirm? I don't. I mean, I do, but like I said, I can't download any apps right now until I get the phone off the service. And it's a long story, but when the company forced me to get a new phone, they put it on a installment plan instead of paying for it outright. And so when I tried to transfer it, I couldn't because the balance would transfer with it. Then they said they paid it and they didn't realize that they pay in arrears. So they thought they had paid it on last month's bill, but really it gets paid on this month's bill. I've been on the phone with FirstNet for about 7 to 9 hours over the course of the last month trying to get it fixed. But anyway, I think it's going to be fixed on the 24th. Speaking of getting fixed on the 24th, so is my tooth, thank God, finally. They paid in the rear. Yeah, they did. He's on a cruise. We are shipping. He probably told me, I just didn't, I mean, it was probably a while ago. A reminder would have been nice, Larry, with my memory. You should know better. My Sharona, 1741, my Sharnia, my Sharna. I just want to say, my Sharona. Yes, my tooth, I got fitted for the tooth the other day. Got the color match done. It's just a matter of, they said 3 weeks, and that was actually a week and a half. I'll have it before I go to St. John, so that's a good thing. Because I can't eat like wheat thins, because sometimes they go up in there and it hurts, and I don't, whatever. Enough of that. Let me tell you about this 70s lounge, folks. It's freaking gorgeous. Okay. I'm going to do a big reveal. It's coming. Crazy Cat Traveler, close to $5,000. But luckily, and that's another thing, my insurance expires on the 31st. So instead of having two, we'll only have one. But my insurance covers implants if they're front-facing teeth or whatever. Out of pocket, I think about $20 $2,200 is what I'm going to end up paying for this too. But the one back here cost me about $1,100. But anyway, I'm excited about that. Now, this 70s room, I can't even imagine. I can't even begin to tell you what's going on down here, but you're all going to want to come to a party here at some point because I've been going buck wild. And when I say buck wild, I mean in a good way. And I have learned not only construction techniques that I never knew before, but I've become the most excellent recycler of stuff in the storage room. Like I said, I built the Buffalo Trace shelf with inlaid LED lights out of Caitlin's old bed frame. I repurposed wood from a console stereo that I bought that was completely fried on the inside to build shelves for something else. But then I reused a box, like a cabinet box, like a drawer, to make a pull-out trash can. Listen, tomorrow I am installing burl wood on the face panels of my bar underneath my epoxy bar top. I'm so excited about that. Like burl wood, you know what I'm saying? Every day, all day, I've been working on this basement. The painting's done. Little things are happening like crazy. The counter by the sink is painted with like Rust-Oleum countertop paint, and epoxy's going on in the morning too for that. But that's just a really light coat. I like Milton Burlwood. But the only thing I really have left to do is finish like painting the cabinets. I've been doing experimental doors to see what colors I like, but I can show you a quick photo because I think this is pretty cool. I'll show you a couple photos of where I've ended up because I think it's kind of groovy. I mean, it's better than Lawn Talk too. Let's just be honest. Okay, home photos. Where you at? There we go. Okay, let me drag some of these bad boys in here. Personal space. There we go. All right. Okay. And down. Check out this burl wood. Maybe. Whoa, easy there, killer. Check that out. Wait till I get that installed, okay? Just wait. Then, let me show you some of the real cool, oh my gosh. You guys, you got to see this. You got to see this. Well, I'll download this too. But you got to see this refrigerator. I freaking made a masterpiece. I don't care what anybody says. There we go. All right. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I can show you. There's a lot of mess down here, y'all. A lot of mess because I'm under construction. But okay, here we go. I'm just downloading a couple of these. Jamie Wilhite, you'll be proud of me. I used a hand sewing machine to hem curtains to the to the length that I wanted. I mean, I wasn't very good at it. It's not something that you would put your name on, but for my purposes, it worked stellar. This is kind of cool. Let's see. Download original. Okay. Here we go. I'm almost done. The fridge is like my crowning achievement at this point. But I'm trying to find that one photo that just pops. Well, that's good enough. That's good enough. Okay, I'll show you some of these. Download. Check out this fridge, y'all. Just look at it. Look at it. Is that picture of who shot Kennedy? What? I mean, it's the most glorious thing you ever saw. So you see what I was kind of looking at with the cabinets up there. I painted the little bevels inside the cabinet doors with the green paint from the fridge, and then I glazed over them with like a different shade of brown to kind of get this effect. That makes any sense to you? And then, I don't know why I downloaded this one, but I think it's kind of funny. Fit to screen. There you kind of get a good idea of all the stuff that's been going on. And Jamie, if you look in the background, those curtains back there are the ones I hand sewed at the bottom because they were too long. The color was actually mold. I think Chipotle wants their guacamole back. Listen, that is the exact color match from the GM Frigidaire refrigerators from like 1974 to 1977. I tried to get the same color as the Kohler sinks that were green like that, but that's freaking proprietary as heck. Like, good luck trying to find that. But let me tell you the most ship showiest of ship show things that happened last night. For those of you in the Midwest, hopefully you guys are good because of the storms and everything. They got us, okay? And I very well, because this was 10:30 at night, I very well could have been sitting on my couch with the lights dimmed, watching golf or something, and not noticed it. But I'm down in one of the cabinets because I decided to transform it from a cabinet with one drawer and a door with like two shelves inside to a pull-out fridge. Or a pull-out trash can. So I bought the rollers, like the slide rollers for it, the soft close kind, and it said you needed a 1/2-inch clearance on either side for them to fit, which was complete bullshit. You actually needed 5/8 clearance. 1/2 inch was not enough. And I struggled with it. And it took me like 2 hours to get it to fit because I had to keep cutting it down. And then I cut it too small. Anyway, I'm bent over looking inside the cabinet and trying to drill something in when all of a sudden, I feel water dripping on the back of my neck. And I'm like, what the hell? And my first thought was, what did the dogs do? Like somebody did something. And because I was down low, maybe they were above me, they drank and they were drooling. But I look up and water is dripping out of my ceiling in the basement. And I was freaking out because of all this time I've spent down here working to get this finished. I thought everything was ruined. Not too far from Rhonda tornadoes. Well, I go running upstairs because it was dripping in the soffit of my basement where a lot of the ductwork runs, and also at the frame of my basement sliding doors. So I ran upstairs to see if it was wet upstairs as well, because I was thinking the roof post or something. And I look out the window in our living room, and that's where our deck is. Normally when it rains, you don't see rain there because the gutters catch it and off it goes. Well, it was raining so hard that it overwhelmed my downspouts. The gutters could not handle the water, so the water was running up in front of the gutters and behind it under the shingles and down the wall of my house. And essentially, again, thanks to ChatGPT, because I was freaking out. I didn't know what to do. But the first thing I did before I talked to ChatGPT is put these rubber mats that I have down that directed the water away from the house. I call Julie my downspout. I overwhelm her all the time. Boy, if she saw that comment, Kevinotopia, you might be in a bit of trouble. That's all I'm going to say. But I got the water directed away, and I went downstairs, and I noticed the drips slowed down. So there was 4 total spots it was dripping, and I put stuff underneath it. So I'm thinking, well, shit. Tomorrow's going to be a day of pulling drywall and trying to dry stuff out, and I got to put this whole project on hold. So I explained the situation and took a bunch of pictures and sent it to ChatGPT, and I said, look, what the hell's going on? And basically what's going on is that the water running down the side of the house got behind the deck board, the toe board or whatever they call that, and found a hole and made its way in a straight line from the door all the way back towards my kitchen area. But as soon as I put that rubber up, the dripping stopped, and I'm like, well, shit, I got to cut out drywall. And it's like, take a deep breath. No, you don't. Do I like uranium lamps? I don't know what a uranium lamp is, but I probably do like it. But anyway, ChatGPT was like, look, unless the drywall is sagging or soggy, this is something that you can handle without cutting out a bunch of... Thank you, Robin. And thank you, everyone else who said that's a... Oh, I could probably turn that off now. Sorry. My bad. I forgot I left those pictures up. My bad. But anyway, the soffit or the water got behind there. It said, don't worry like too much about it. And the good news is where my soffit, where it was leaking the most, that's like 5 feet from the room next door, which is my furnace room. No, I'm not talking baseboard. I'm talking in the ceiling. But the soffit up there is actually exposed in my furnace room. Like, it's like 11 inches below the normal ceiling, and it's open. So I was able to hang 2 fans off of joists and blow air through the soffit, pull the light fixture that's in the middle of that soffit to let the air get through. I'm running like 4 fans down here, and my dehumidifier has been running with a hose. since last night. And when I went to bed last night, the humidity in this room was like 59%, and it's now down to 38. And what was a little bit moist, I'm sure you'll have fun with that word in the chat, is now rather dry. I think a couple more days of fan movement and action, and I'll be fine. And if it weren't for ChatGPT, I would have been pulling drywall out. But luckily, there's no insulation there because it's the basement. The floor above is the living room. So I dodged a bullet. Definitely dodged a bullet. I'm curious what a uranium lamp is still. And I don't know about Caitlin's song. After I dropped Stella off this morning, I never stopped moving. I ended up going to Grand Rapids to pick up that burl wood that I showed you in the picture. But I'll take a look at it after. Yeah, this burl wood. I just it's a 4x8 sheet. Just curious, in the chat, what do you guys think the cost of that was? Now, mind you, it's not real burl wood. But what do you think the cost of each board was? And Crazy Cat Traveler, don't say I wouldn't pay $3 for it, because I know it's coming. Just take a guess, if anybody wants to. I found it on Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, it's 1/4 inch too. I should probably clarify that. No. Yeah, Jose's playing the Price is Right insurance bet of $1, Bob. So listen, on regular like a panel like that, you're looking at minimum $35 at Home Depot, regardless, for the cheapest. But I got these for $6 a piece. $6 a piece. This guy gets wood like overstock and discontinued stuff, and he sells it out of his storage unit. He's got like 2 forklifts running at all time. It was nonstop traffic through there of people coming in, mostly handyman and stuff like that. But I got them for $6 a piece. And then I also picked up like 4 pieces of walnut, just like that, but it looks like walnut. So yeah, he gives wood for $6. But I also picked up some cabinet grade laminated walnut boards, so I can build some shelves and stuff. I spent a total of $77 for 9 pieces of paneling and 4 cabinet grade 2 foot by 4 foot boards that were laminated walnut. Oh, and 15 pieces of actual walnut veneer that were 1 foot by 1 foot, which would easily cost about $14 a piece, and I got them for $1 each. Facebook Marketplace has become another one of my areas of expertise. And when it comes to a 70s lounge, if you see something you like, you better strike while the iron's hot, because apparently I decided to build a 70s lounge right in the middle of a time where apparently mid-century modern is like a thing now. Like everybody wants it. You can't. If you don't buy it when you see it, it's sold. That's all there is to it. Now you could go to eBay and find it, but on eBay, it's all resellers trying to make a fortune. Oh, dang it. Thank you, Tess. Trying to make a fortune selling you, an ashtray for $75. Get the flock out of here with that. I ain't doing that. I was a thing in the mid-century also. Well, I believe that, Kevatopia. But what else was I going to say about that? Well, I don't remember. But on Marketplace, there's a lot of people that sell stuff that don't know what they have, and that's the kind of stuff you got to look for. And there's been many times. Well, like one time I bought this couch. The guy didn't know what he had. It was in his aunt's family room, and he was like, nobody ever sat in here. This has been in here for 30 years untouched. Don't tell me that. What do you mean, where's the sound? I don't understand. I have sound. Am I imagining something? Okay. I just saw Robin Allison says, where's the sound? It scared me. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Crazy Cat. Thank you, Robin. But boy, that threw me off, and now I completely lost what I was about to say. But oh well. But I'm excited about this big trip coming up. I've actually, Monday, Sunday, I finished a quasi itinerary for the cruises that I'm going to post once I get them, the T's crossed and the I's dotted. And yes, I'll talk to you, Tess, but I've made a vow to myself not to go bananas and buck wild on this one. We're going to hang out. I don't know that it ever left, Robin. It might have left on your end, but everyone says it was fine over there. But there'll be plenty of stuff for us to do as a group. But as small as the group is, I think it'll be a lot of fun to keep it simple, stupid. We'll just kiss the whole time. I'm kidding. Not about the kiss or about the kissing, but we're going to keep it a little bit more simple. But sounds like I might be rooming with Larry on one of them. As it turns out, Stella and Kelly can't make it on either. And Kelly was really excited to be on the first leg for a plethora of reasons, but especially for the big tribute going on for Lindy Lou. I stopped writing a doc for listing a house when you said that. I'm skipping the cruise now. Wait, what? When I said what? Oh, that we're kissing? Oh, Garrett, it wouldn't be the first time we kissed. Stop it. Come on. If you can't kiss your family, who can you kiss, for crying out loud? But Stella has a test that she can't miss. It's an AP course that the teacher told her that anyone who missed the week before the test has never gotten more than like a 71% or something. And right now, Stella it's a blessing and quite a bit of a curse. She's top of her class. And there was an incident last week where a teacher made her take a quiz that he said she could take on Tuesday. He made her take it on Monday. And boy, did she lose her mind when she got in the car. I've never seen anything like it. It was insane. But then I got to thinking, I guess it's not a bad thing that she's striving to be number one, but I guess it's also not the most important thing. Tess says she looks forward to the kissing. Well, there you go. I'm sure there'll be plenty of it. But as it turns out, Kelly emailed the teacher because he saw the note where the teacher said she could take it on Tuesday instead of Monday because she was at a gymnastics meet the Friday before. And he's like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot. Stella was probably too embarrassed to tell me. She got to take it the next day. She got 100%. So her grades are extremely important to her. When the teacher said no one's gotten higher than a 71%, she said, yeah, no thanks. So a history quiz was enough to tell me that her life was ruined. I don't think she's going to go on a cruise and miss out on that, getting the A that she so desperately wants. You can pick your friend. You can pick your nose, but you can't pick your friend's nose. Yes, you can. I've done it before. How you doing, Claywood, 2169? Good to see you. Claywood. Is it Claywood or Claywood? Anyway, so yeah, Larry and I will be rooming together on the Carnival Lake, I believe. Or no, I can't remember which one, but one of them. So a few events planned, some fun stuff. We're going to the Bearded Clam. I've been good. I've been very good. Claywood. I feel like, Claywood. What? Who's Claywood? Do I know Claywood? Why does that name ring a bell? It's a name that I probably know as someone with a different name. Just guard your water around Larry. Good point. Good point. Well, it's not so much guard your water. Be careful what goes in your CPAP. That's all I'm saying. And Jamie Wilhite, absolutely 100%. And don't just do it in Coop Cruise. You can do it in the ship show as well. Jamie Wilhite has a little something special planned, and I think it's awesome. And the proceeds will be donated to the group for St. Jude. When we're on board. So, yeah, feel free. Post that. That is not carte blanche for Tess to go in there and start creating events. I'm just saying. Jamie reached out to me first, privately. Part of me wishes I could go on the second cruise, but I just have so much going on right now, and then I have to get to Hawaii for graduation. Just craziness. Well, better to go to Hawaii than to go to Flint, I always say. But, or maybe Gary, Indiana. I don't know. Flint or Gary. Those are the two choices that come to mind where I'd much rather be in Hawaii than in Flint. You know what I'm saying? But I don't have a lot of cruise talk to talk about. Beyond that, I've been kind of holding it close to the vest. I won't lie about that. Yeah, it's a carefully curated experience, if that means anything to you. I'm carefully curating the vibe. There will not be an app. I can tell you that right stinking daggone freaking now. I don't know if I ever told that story in the ship show, but when I made that app, I paid what the cost was per month for a certain number of users, and I paid for 400 and some users, and there were way less people than that, but that was the next tier up. And it turns out that was 400 use SID. The R was silent, apparently, because when I got off the cruise, I had a bill for $700 for that silly app. So there will not be another app. If I ever do another app, it'll be hosted on my own network. And that'll be that. But I sent a message the other day to my good friend Doodles, York Ragsdale, my neighbor. Some of you might know him as a esteemed former host of the Ship Show. Quite frankly, the brains behind anything that was cool 4 years ago and prior. Anything after that was all Larry or me, but mostly Doodles. But in the wintertime, we don't see a lot of Doodles because he's got a new job and he's traveling. And I sent him a text. I'm like, hey, listen, you think we'll ever hang out again? Or maybe should I just wait till spring? Because, golf season's coming. The itch it needs to be scratched. And then he was telling me, he's like, I got to go to freaking Buffalo. I got to go to Philly. I got to go here. I got to go there. I'm like, all right, I'll see you in the spring then. How about a cruise in January 2027? So what I've found around here is whatever window is available for our family is very tight and very limited in terms of flexibility. And what I learned, especially this time, I was given a specific window that we could use that would work for the Coop Cruise, if y'all remember. And I announced it only to find out that was a no-go. Turned out that Easter was part of that cruise, and that's a deal breaker for Kelly. So we had to cancel that and start fresh. And so then we got new dates, and as it turns out, Stella has the big test that week. So we want to do another big one, and we're definitely going to do one in 2027. But I'm thinking it might be winter. But we'll figure that out. We'll figure it out. Midwinter break is often a good time for us, unless Stella has like gymnastics meets, which this year she had to go to Nashville for a gymnastics meet. And I imagine next year would be the same thing. But yeah, I was excited because, we're spending time with Garrett and Stella and St. John, but they're also going to be on the Carnival cruise. So, or no. Are you on the Carnival cruise or the Royal cruise, Garrett? Oh, yeah. If I see Victor ever again in my life and he comes up to my table to take my order, I'll say, get out of here, you charlatan. Did I say Stella instead of Eliana? The second leg, that's Carnival. Okay, yep. We've been trying to work out the logistics over here with the diapers, right? For St. John. And Caitlin's like trying to pack them in different bags and like figure out where, she has access to diapers, thinking that, they might be hard to find. And I'm like, listen, there's plenty of options for diapers in St. John. It's actually an American territory. But turns out it's a special kind of diaper that she can tolerate. But it also turns out, and I don't know if Kelly told Caitlin this, but there's like a specialty baby store there like kind of a boutique baby store that sells those kind of things. But anyway, we'll talk about that. What I did find out, though, and this is interesting, Garrett, I don't know if you guys have TSA pre-check. And I know the thing around town is that there is no TSA pre-check right now. That's been proven to be fairly false all over the airports. I've seen people all over the country talking about that TSA pre is still open in a lot of places. But I don't know if you have TSA pre or not, Garrett. But you and Caitlin should consider it. You can get it very quickly, not like global entry, but the difference between having TSA pre and not having TSA pre, from what the cab driver I spoke with in St. John that's picking us up from the airport said, getting out of there in St. Thomas is either a 3-hour wait or a 5-hour wait if you don't have it. So, yeah, and that's the thing, Crazy Cat Traveler, in St. Thomas, the one thing that was really grease that lubed the gears, it was global entry. If you had global entry, you had a separate line you could go to, because the line in St. Thomas to get into that airport is ridiculous. And what the cab driver was saying to me is that TSA isn't even getting paid right now over there. So like Saturday and Sunday, if you don't show up at the airport at least 5 hours early, you're most likely not going to make the flight back. And that sucks. But if you don't have TSA pre, I'll talk to Caitlin about it. It's really easy. You go to a local place, get your... They take your fingerprints, and then when you go through security, you don't have to take your shoes off or your belt or all that crap. But apparently that's a benefit. More than most in St. Thomas. And you can get it, you get your TSA number like the next day. So something worth looking into. Because that's going to be a long day for y'all. I don't know if you looked at your itinerary for your flight home. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. But let me tell you what I'm happy about. And this has nothing to do with Larry not being here or him being on a cruise. It's that I somehow did a live stream without freaking pressing buttons the whole time. That's pretty exciting. The only thing that would have made it better is if Arnold was here. That's right. Arnold, come. He ain't here. He's probably reading his monthly copy of Joggers Unlimited. This is so fantastic. Arnold's company here. Ooh. And you know who else is in here? Where you at, Dana? mean, you kind of are a chump. Got that right. No thanks. No, not at all. Not even a little bit. Probably. Most likely. He's dancing around in their living room, listening to the greatest hits of Tiffany. That's probably what Dana's doing right now. Kevitopia, that's brilliant. Absolutely. His name's David England. Yeah. Jennison. I love that you found that on Marketplace. I think he normally sells them for like $10, but because I bought so much, he gave me a discount. Garrett says, good night, everyone. We have a house to wire at 7 a.m. Well, you better get wiring. Hopefully you're using some good, solid Romex and good breakers and GFIs and voltmeters. Did you text me, Garrett? Oh, okay. Oh, shoot. That's groovy as heck. That is hellaciously awesome. What's the green laser-looking light on there? What is that? And what's in your hand? That's what I want to know. I like the gnome on the counter, too. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I love those lamps. Gorgeous. I imagine Garrett stumbles upon some pretty cool stuff in all of his travels and dealings with people. But yeah, Hayden's flashlight, the lamp glows. Oh, I see. Well, you know, and also in a pinch, if you need to build a bomb, you got, oh boy, there it goes. I'm going to get in trouble. Shouldn't have said that one. But if you need to build a home electricity source, you could just cut off a few chunks of that, and I don't know how it works, but I'm pretty sure it would. You know what I'm saying? I'm assuming, Kevitopia, when you said Jennison, you found the guy on Facebook, right? And you saw all the stuff that he sells? Right. You're right, Tess. You are right. Yeah. David England. I know his last name's England. But I bought the paneling that I ran all around the outside walls of this basement from him like 4 months ago. And when I saw that burl wood, I said to myself, Self, you've spent so much time trying to perfect this bar, the vertical walls of the bar. I painted them with gold metallic paint. Then I hit them with like 7 different shades of metallic spray paint to kind of give it this almost leather look, because I sprayed it with the metallic and then rubbed it in. It looked like leather. But when I put the polyurethane on there, I'd never really done a lot of polyurethane. And I learned a hard lesson on the difficulty of polyurethane in vertical spacing. So I scrapped that idea. I wasn't going to stick with it. There was too many shelves and ridges and stuff. Like, it looked like crap. So then I was going to do like wood, like weathered wood on there at angles, and it looked cool. But then I found that burl wood, and I said, the search is over. That's a song. I was trying to get it in my head. But anyway, I can't wait to do like this crazy little video of the before and after of this room, because I've got a before and after of almost everything in here. It's, and I'm going to have a party. There's going to be a 70th party down here, and that's all there is to it. And at the rate that I'm going now, it looks like about springtime is going to be the good time for it. When York comes out of his cocoon and other people come out, you know. Well, I'm curious, Jamie Wilhite, because another fun fact that I become good at recycling in Stella's playroom, I found like a Walmart bag that was full of fabric tape from like 6 years ago when she was still a dancer. It had like 7 rolls of that fabric tape. Well, I don't know if I can flip a house for you, Garrett. I mean, I find myself to be very handy, but I'm only handy because I'm a perfectionist, and it's not easy to be a perfectionist when you make as many mistakes as I do, because you end up redoing a lot of stuff, which I've done down here. It's been what I've learned, especially in the last several weeks, is test board. Like when I decided to finally epoxy that brown countertop because it was just too much brown, I tested inside the cabinet well to see how the epoxy would take on that brown paint because of the chemical properties of it. And I learned, hey, it doesn't like this. So you better put some polyurethane on it first. Or you're going to have fish eyes all through it. I make a lot of mistakes. I don't know. I wouldn't consider myself anywhere near a craftsman. But at the end, whether it be through trim or other creative means of hiding whatever flaws I created along the way, it looks pretty solid, if that makes any sense to you. But that's not my wheelhouse. But I've enjoyed learning all this stuff. But I have learned I actually need a real table saw. I need a straight edge guide. I need cordless brad nailer. That's non-negotiable. I need a cordless brad nailer. I need a large working area and clamps. I need clamps out the wazoo. Clamps, a flat table, an actual table saw table, a freaking router table where I can actually use a router without ruining the board underneath that I'm trying to route. I've learned what I need if I want to continue to do stuff like this in an easier fashion rather than the ridiculously hard and oftentimes mistake-laden fashion that I do think. But, you know, some things work out down here. Other things, you know, I have to pivot. And some things come about by complete miracles. Like the epoxy that I'm going to do on this counter. I mixed it, and you know, ChatGPT, I use it a lot, and it gives me suggestions. It says the key here is to use a very small amount of purling powder in the top coat. You want subtle. You don't want it looks like somebody put paste and glittered out. And I said to ChatGPT, I think you're underestimating my affinity towards cheese and razzle dazzle. So I completely ignored its instructions on how much purling powder to mix into the top coat and how much of the color changing glitter I was going to put in there. And the second test I did proved successful. And I'm telling you, when this counter is done on the sink area, it literally looks like outer space. It's incredible. Chip show, use a 2-inch thick 4x8 sheet of board insulation under your workpiece. It saves your tabletop. Yeah, the problem is I don't have a space to, you know what I'm saying? I need a space and a proper working surface so that I can do stuff like that, especially with the router. In order to, and my table saw, because there's cuts I need to make, especially thin cuts, where you'll find out, Tess, especially thin cuts. I'm just not properly equipped right now. So I get scared to use my table saw in the way it can be used because I just don't have the right things. Half the time I'm ripping a board on my knees because I don't have like a table. You know what I'm saying? Like, or I'm ripping something so thin that I don't, and it's a small piece of wood anyway, that I'm too afraid to cut my fingers off. I need a proper setup, but I'll get there. I'll get there. I've also determined, I learned this today while I was at that place getting the Burlwood. In order to fit it into my car, it was 49 by 97 foot pieces. And I could only fit about 43 inches wide to get it in and make it fit in my third row and second row, and only have like a foot sticking out the back. And so I had to cut, like, I cut 9.5 inches off because the piece that I'm using is only 3 feet for the bar face. But I brought my circular saw, right? And yeah, I need a track saw for sure. But I brought my circular saw and an extension cord, and I had a finished blade on it, like with 140 teeth or whatever. And I'm there, and there's like a real professional, like woodworker, like home improvement guy who's buying a whole bunch of like MDF and other stuff that he needs. And he comes out with his cordless Milwaukee circular saw and just starts, and I get there and I'm trying to cut the paneling, and my blade was crap. And I'm struggling, and I'm like, God, I wish I had a, you know, like a cordless circular saw. But then the guy who runs the place, he's like, here, I'll just cut it for you. I usually don't like to use my tools in here. And he pulls out a Makita cordless, like, saw. It was a circular saw, but it was more like flat. I can't explain it. The dude ripped through the board as fast as he could walk past it. Like, so there's some upgrades that need to be made around here. But Tess, you'll find out what we're doing in Cozumel. Okay? There's no arrangements you need to make prior to Cozumel unless you just don't want to go to what we're doing. Other than that, get off the ship, get in the cab, and go where we're going. You know what I'm saying? Think less, you have more fun. Think more, you'll be wrong. All right, listen, everyone. Thank you for joining. I stayed live without too many errors for 1 hour and 8 minutes. I was thrown off with Larry not being here. Yes, exactly, Kevin. Yes. Well, Kelly, you didn't miss everything, but we're getting ready to roll out of here. No, Tess, you don't need to plan. Definitely, we're going to do something with Tess. Definitely in Cozumel. So that's going to be a left, right, center situation. Left, right, left, center, rooster, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, no, you don't need to plan anything. Everything's A-okay. It's groovy. And if you don't like what we're doing, there will be no offense taken whatsoever. Kelly Madison says, I'll watch the replay, need my Wednesday coop fix. Well, I can tell you this. I think you can hear me throughout most of it, Kelly, so that's a plus. That's a plus. But I don't know how well I've worked through the audio issues because Larry wasn't here, and that's the real test. Yeah, I have a reaping blade, but I also have like the little jammers on the back of it that apparently prevent kickbacks. As a matter of fact, I almost had a catastrophe when I was ripping little strips of a piece of trim so that it would line up. I had a square of trim that was beveled down on top down on each side, and I had a vertical that ran up the middle that I wanted to line up with the thinner edge. So I was ripping pieces of trim to the same thickness, and I had a catastrophic moment. Not really, because I got lucky, but it did kick back on me, and it shot like a 8 inch thick by 3/4 inch thick piece of cheap trim straight back at the glass window doors in one of the spare bedrooms down here. The doors are like regular doors, but instead of being solid, there's glass panels in them. It shot it right at the door. I thought it was going to shoot right through the glass, but luckily it hit the trim in between two panes. It hit hard. There's a dent. But I was using a little plastic jammer pusher piece on it. And I had even clamped down a board on either side so that it couldn't wobble left or right. But I need tools, y'all. I need the real stuff, and I'll get there. So Kelly is a test for the Californians who claim to be Northwest locals. But anyway, I would like to thank you all for joining this evening and allowing me to wax poetic in my own ADHD fashion about nothing and everything all at once. I appreciate that. And, this was like the first time I had to go live by myself where I wasn't like anxious or apprehensive. So, yes, I think Coco K is awesome, Tess. I think Coco K is fantastic. Thanks for asking. I'm not going to like that answer. I know it. That's not the song. That's not the song. Where'd it go?
Ooh, baby.
Oh, that's not it. Shoot, which one is it? And Tess, I don't want to hear any of this. Tess, I know what you're thinking. You know what? You don't have to know everything. You don't have to plan everything. You can just enjoy. Okay? That's what I want you to do. I want you to enjoy. Yeah, there's nothing that is pressing when it comes to what's happening. Sometimes what happens in the moment is what brings the most joy, especially when it's unexpected. Like on a Thursday night, and never mind. I'll save that story for another. I thought I had this song, but must have disappeared off of my. Wait, is it? This is it. Listen, everybody, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And I've seen what's going on in the world lately. It's some weird time to be alive. And I think the best way to navigate the choppy waters of life as it stands today in our geopolitical climate, there's not a lot we can do individually, except be nice to each other. And you know, it's not hard to do that. The easiest thing to do is be nice to each other. And I'll even say this. The minute you stop using social media as a political launch pad so that everyone is well aware of where you stand, and if you don't agree with them, you're not their friend, you're doing not just yourself a disservice, you're doing anyone, potential friends, family, anyone, a disservice of not being able to hang out with you because you never figured out what's really important. And I can tell you, it isn't telling the other party how dumb they are. And if that's your priority, I wish you would. So right now, all I have to say is, screw your politics, screw your friends. I'm sorry I couldn't help that one. Don't screw your friends. Unless, you know, you're that close. But otherwise, don't screw your friend. I don't advise that. That always ends up being weird. That's like borrowing money from a friend. Don't do any of that. But be nice to each other. And maybe, if you're nice to each other, they'll become more than friends. I don't know. Just be nice to each other, especially online. Give somebody a hug, because you know we're going to be kissing on the cruise. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't take any wooden nickels. And remember, as long as I'm in charge, you don't have to plan anything. That doesn't mean that anything's going to happen. That just means I don't want you to plan anything. You know what I'm saying? Okay?